Chers amis, nous sommes réunis ce soir parce que nous sommes inspirés depuis le début. It is not only about cinema. I just want to say this festival started with 3 films 8 years ago, and that lady over here made sure that it grew at such speed that this year we gave you over 100 films, documentaries to move you, to shake you, to wake us up. But what's most important are the conversations that we've had amongst ourselves. I started 25 years ago. I wasn't black enough. I wasn't white enough. I've seen it all. And these are the same discussions we're having today. It's so important to have this dialogue, and today we're going to do that. I also want to welcome other people who are with us this evening at this fabulous honor table, and I'd like to ask a few of them to please come up and say something. Mr. Andrew Parker, Consul des États-Unis à Montréal, U.S. Consul General here in Montreal, an avid fan of this festival, a sponsor of this festival. I think I can really say you're a real avid fan. Would you please come up here and say a few words? Mr. Parker, mesdames et messieurs.
Merci Sonia, c'est un grand plaisir d'être ici ce soir avec tout le monde, mesdames et messieurs. It is really a pleasure and a great honor for me to welcome all of you tonight to this special event with Stedman Graham, a real American icon, and to be a part of this Montreal International Black Film Festival. Many of you know that the United States Consulate in Montreal has been very proud to support this initiative, which annually showcases and amplifies some of the very best new black films from across the globe and inspires a new generation of black filmmakers and talent to create and share their stories. The festival also creates a space to present and discuss social and socioeconomic issues. It gives us an opportunity to see foreign and independent films which have smaller distribution, but one of its goals which we share is to promote audience debate on issues raised in the films. This helps us better understand one another, our shared humanity, and our globalized world. I especially want to thank Fabienne Collat for her vision, creation, and extraordinary management of the festival, and her programming director, Emile Castonguay, for his incredible work. We're also indebted to Nadia Rousseau for her outstanding work on this evening's program. We're especially pleased to note some 35 films with ties to the United States in this festival, and the festival's work to honor 2 very distinguished Americans. We gathered together last week to honor the legendary Harry Belafonte. As Sonia has explained, he was an incredible honoree for his humanitarian work and was the recipient of the 2012 Humanitarian Prize. And to hear him discuss Sing Your Song and his life was really a privilege. His story of perseverance in the face of discrimination and his standing up for human rights and equal rights inspired all of us. Tonight, I'm very pleased to be part of this special evening with American educator, New York Times best-selling author, and businessman Stedman Graham. Mr. Graham in many ways embodies the American dream. And the secret of his success has been to define himself rather than letting others define him. The great American poet Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." It is this ability to tap into how people feel and how we relate to others and ourselves which distinguishes Mr. Stedman Graham. He is one of America's best experts on emotional intelligence, the ability to identify, to assess, and to control the emotions of oneself, of others, and of groups. And having this ability is a critical asset in the North American workplace, and many Fortune 500 companies have relied on him to bring it out in their leaders. I'm proud to say that Secretary Clinton has also asked the State Department to train its staff in emotional intelligence because we recognize these abilities make us more effective colleagues, managers, and diplomats. Early in his life, Mr. Graham said he was aware of people putting labels on him, labels about the small town in New Jersey in which he grew up, about his race, about his family. Over time, he realized how limiting and damaging such labels are. The antidote, he discovered, was to take control of his own identity rather than having other people's labels describe him, and to organize a life around whom he truly felt himself to be. From there, it was about taking control of his own development and planning how to reach the next level. Tonight, he is recognized by the Montreal International Black Film Festival for his entire professional career and community involvement with the 2012 receiving the 2012 Career Achievement Award. His contributions toward identity development, leadership, and the importance of diversity in the workplace, whether with corporations or high schools, have touched thousands and thousands of people. And people don't forget how Stedman Graham makes them feel. It is an honor to be part of this evening and to see him honored as a great American, not only for his own qualities and achievements, but for the tremendous effort he has made to show other people how to nurture and grow the very best in themselves. Thank you very much.
For decades, we have focused, we have praised, we have rewarded intellectual intelligence, only to finally realize, long overdue, but we finally did realize the importance of emotional intelligence and how, in fact, that is the heart and soul to all success, be it personal or professional. Our keynote speaker tonight is definitely a specialist in emotional intelligence. So tonight I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to not only listen with your brain, but more importantly, please listen with your heart. Before we bring him up on stage, ladies and gentlemen, here's the man in action. Take a look.
You ask yourself, you say, what can my life become? Where do I want to be in 5 years? You really have to dig way deep to find out really who you are. There's no way you can accomplish anything without working hard.
He founded a nonprofit organization called Athletes Against Drugs.
He is also a successful businessman and author.
He's the founder, president, and CEO of S. Graham Associates.
And he serves on the national boards of the Urban League and Junior Achievement.
He's the author of the new book, You Can Make It Happen.
His name is Stedman Graham.
Stedman Graham.
Mr. Stedman Graham.
Other than his accomplishments, we also now know that he doesn't take a bad picture. Pretty good. Mesdames et messieurs, ça me fait plaisir maintenant de faire appel à la présidente de ce magnifique festival qui a eu une vision, un rêve, et qui était déterminée de rendre le tout possible. She's an amazing woman who had a vision, who started 8 years ago with 3 films and a festival of Haitian films. Here she is this year with over 100 films, keynote speakers, documentaries that are truly moving, important, and unforgettable. It is my pleasure to ask to the stage Madame Fabienne Colas.
Very generous presentation. Thank you, Sonia Benezra, mesdames et messieurs, notre porte-parole de cette 8e édition. Je voulais vous dire bonsoir et merci d'avoir répondu à l'invitation. Ça fait vraiment plaisir et chaud au cœur de voir une salle avec de si belles personnes. C'est extraordinaire. Thank you for coming tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to welcome you here at the 8th Annual Montreal International Black Film Festival. And tonight is an historic night. I'm going to tell you why in a moment. First off, I'd like to thank our main presenter of the night. And not just the main presenter of the night, but the main presenter of this festival for 3 years now, consecutive years. Global Montreal, a beautiful table of Global Montreal here with Travis Todd, with Karen McDonald, and the whole team of Global. Thank you so much for being here and for making all this possible. We have a beautiful table of honor here. I'd like to present you the guest of honor. Sonia Benezra over there, our spokesperson again and again and again. Thank you, Sonia, for everything you've been doing for us this year. We have also the director of programming and co-founder of the festival, Monsieur Émile Castonguay, qui est ici. Nous avons notre guest of honor, Monsieur Stedman Graham. U.S. Consul General, Mr. Andrew Parker, here. le vice-président de la Fondation Fabienne Collat, M. Réal Barnabé. Et nous avons le consul général d'Haïti à Montréal, M. Justin Viard. J'aimerais aussi prendre le temps de dire merci à toute l'équipe de la Fondation Fabienne Collat qui rend tout ça possible. Ils ont très peu de crédit. They make me look good, but they are the one doing all the work. So to my team at the Fabienne Collat Foundation, a round of applause for them. They make it possible. Sonia said she had butterflies. I'm shaking. So I'm going to hold this and read my speech because otherwise I'm not going to make it. Je voulais dire que le Festival international du film black de Montréal est plus qu'un festival. Quand on a commencé le festival, je voulais que ce soit un endroit qui inspire, qui motive, qui donne le goût d'aller plus loin. And this is what we're achieving with the festival this year, and depuis longtemps à travers les films, mais encore plus cette année avec beaucoup plus que juste des films. C'est l'ouverture d'une grande fenêtre sur les réalités noires des quatre coins du monde. On le fait non seulement à travers le cinéma, mais aussi à travers plusieurs modes d'expression. Nous voulons que le festival soit évidemment un lieu de motivation, d'inspiration, de développement pour les cinéastes, mais aussi pour tous ceux qui veulent aller plus loin, tant sur le plan professionnel que personnel. Nous sommes privilégiés de recevoir M. Stedman Graham pour lancer cette tradition, comme Sonia l'avait mentionné, de grandes conférences et aussi de lui décerner le tout premier prix du festival, qui est le prix d'excellence en carrière du festival. The Montreal International Black Film Festival is much more than a festival. It exposes viewers to international black realities through cinema and other forms of expression. We want the festival to be a place of inspiration, motivation, and development for filmmakers, but also for individuals who want to further their professional and personal lives. We have the privilege of hosting Stedman Graham as the first of what is sure to be many great speakers, and to award him with the first Montreal International Black Film Festival's Career Achievement Award. Thank you for being here. Évidemment, on a beaucoup parlé de M. Graham ce soir, donc je ne veux pas reprendre tout le monde. Sonia a fait une belle présentation, ainsi que le consul général des États-Unis, M. Parker aussi. Mais je dirais seulement que M. Graham est non seulement un auteur de best-sellers, il est un éducateur, il est un entrepreneur. C'est une sommité en matière d'intelligence émotionnelle. Nous lui remettons donc ce prix, ce tout premier prix d'excellence en carrière 2012 du festival, pour l'ensemble de son parcours professionnel. Mais le festival veut également souligner son apport extraordinaire tant à des corporations qu'à des organismes à but non lucratif à travers la formation en développement identitaire, en leadership, en sensibilisation à la diversité, au mieux-être et en image de marque personnelle ou professionnelle. Donc le festival rend également hommage à son implication communautaire et philanthropique, notamment auprès des jeunes. Best-selling author, educator, entrepreneur, Stedman Graham is one of today's leading authorities on emotional intelligence, as Sonia was mentioning. He is receiving our very first 2012 Career Achievement Award in recognition of his entire professional career. The Montreal International Black Film Festival recognizes his extraordinary contribution to corporation and nonprofit organization through training in identity development, leadership, diversity training, personal wellness, and personal and professional branding. The festival is also paying tribute to his community involvement and philanthropy, particularly concerning the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the 2012 Career Achievement Award recipient, Mr. Stedman Graham.
Mr. Graham, we're going to take that award and we're going to go sit down with it so we can let you do what you're supposed to do. And I will say one thing. This man is born in Whiteboro, New Jersey, where they said to him many, many a time during his childhood, nothing good really comes out of Whiteboro. Boy, were they wrong. Stedman Graham.
Bonjour et bienvenue à cette conférence de presse qui introduit M. Stedman Graham à Montréal pour le festival, dans le cadre du Festival du film Black de Montréal, 8e édition. Mon nom c'est Fabienne Nicolas, la présidente du festival, la présidente fondatrice. Ça nous fait vraiment plaisir de vous avoir parmi nous et d'avoir M. Graham ici. Good morning everybody, welcome to this press conference introducing Mr. Stedman Graham to the Montreal International Black Film Festival, 8th edition, and we are very honored to have him with us, and here we start, here we come. I'm not gonna be talking a lot because I know you wanna hear Mr. Graham speaking, but I just wanna say why we decided to create this prize. Au début, en fait, le Festival du film Black a commencé en tant que le Festival du film haïtien et tout ce qu'on a voulu faire, c'était d'avoir un côté qui motive, un côté qui inspire, un côté très qui pouvait soulever les consciences. Et c'est ainsi qu'on a commencé avec des films, toutes sortes de films qui pouvaient inspirer et faire penser, faire voir d'autres réalités. Et au fur et à mesure, je voulais ouvrir un peu la fenêtre du festival en montrant non seulement des films inspirants, des films passionnants, des films qui peuvent soulever les cœurs, les consciences, mais en même temps en invitant des gens extraordinaires qui ont fait des choses extraordinaires et qui peuvent motiver d'autres personnes à aller au-delà de ce qu'ils peuvent atteindre. C'est pour ça que nous avons décidé de commencer à inviter des gens extraordinaires comme M. Graham et de créer ce premier prix qui s'appelle Career Achievement Award, le prix d'excellence en carrière. So Mr. Stedman Graham will be the very first person to receive the 2012 Career Achievement Award. It's in recognition to his entire professional career. The festival recognizes extraordinary contribution to corporation and non-profit organization through training in identity development, leadership, diversity training, personal wellness, and personal and professional branding. The festival will also pay tribute to his community involvement and philanthropy, particularly concerning youth, because he's really involved with youth for a long time, for the longest time, since 1985.
Yeah, 25 years.
Exactly. And he's also deeply involved in South Africa with youth also, so this is really important for us to recognize this. But Mr. Graham, everybody knows Mr. Graham. Mr. Graham is a New York Times best-selling author. He authored over 10 books, and it's really about empowerment, identity, and success, and leadership. So, sans aller plus loin, je vais vous laisser avec Mr. Graham pour les questions, parce que c'est lui que nous sommes venus entendre aujourd'hui et on est très fiers qu'il est le premier à recevoir ce grand prix d'excellence en carrière. Ladies and gentlemen, Stedman Graham.
Thank you very much. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. I am honored to receive this award, to be the first one. I was wondering why I would receive an award at the film festival, and based on leadership and empowerment and teaching people how to maximize their potential as a human being, I thought that this was the right thing to do for me, and I appreciate the opportunity. Also glad to be in Montreal, beautiful place. This is my second time being here, so it's just a wonderful, wonderful place. And got a chance to, last time I was here, ride the bike in Old Town?
Old Montreal.
Old Montreal. And got a chance to see where the World's Fair was and all of that, so it was a great experience for me. So, glad to be here. The food was delicious. Fantastic.
Do you have any questions? I have a question, may I? I would like to know, because I have a very short time to ask you, I want you to tell people that are struggling today, because you struggled yourself and you established yourself, what do you have to tell these people so they can go on and have faith in their future?
Well, thank you so much for that question. I speak all over the world, and I speak about identity development. And the reason I speak about identity development because I was looking for my identity for most of my life. I had a race-based consciousness, so I thought it was about race, and I thought it was about family circumstances, and the fact that I couldn't make it because I had a victim mentality. And when I realized that it was really about my lack of process, my lack of thinking, my lack of being able to take information and education and make it relevant to who I am so that I could empower myself, that was the missing piece for me. And so I created that, and other people define me by all the external things, or we define ourselves by all the external things. Of course, a lot of people know my relationship with Oprah, and that's also how I was defined. And every time you step out the door, people put you in a box. And so you have all these boxes. You have the race box, you have the gender box, you have the relationship box, you have the house box, the car box, the money box, the clothes box. So all these labels that teach you or program you to believe that that's who you are. So they're socially constructed labels that people buy into. And I think millions of people buy into these labels. If you're privileged, you buy into the label. So you think that you are somebody special because you have a little bit more money, or you have parents that maybe are well-to-do. And so the ability to be able to discover yourself is not a process of having other people define you. It's a process of being able to define yourself. And oftentimes we don't have the tools to do that because we live in a world where we wake up in the morning, we wash your face, we brush your teeth, we get something to eat, we get the kids off to school, we work all day, we come home in the afternoon, we spend time with the family, we watch TV, go to bed, maybe we dream that's Monday. What are most people doing Tuesday? Same thing. Wednesday, same thing. Thursday, same thing. Friday, same thing. Saturday, a little bit different. Sunday, a little bit different. They start the process all over again on Monday. And they get stuck in the box of doing the same thing over and over, which is basically nothing, because they've already done it. And then we forget most of what we learn in school. The educational system teaches us how to memorize and take tests, repeat the information back, and then we forget it. And then we don't realize how to take that education and information and make it, and filter it and make it relevant to our growth in the 24 hours that we have, which is the only thing that makes us equal. Everybody has 24 hours. So the question is always, who are you? What is your identity? How do you self-actualize your talents, your skills, your abilities, and your passions? And so that becomes a foundation for your development. We don't teach that in our world. We teach people how to be slaves. We teach them how to be followers. And we teach them how to be consumers. So when we reverse the process of teaching people how to take information and education and learning and make it applicable to our own development every day, then we can develop a process for continuous improvement. So I created the 9-step success process as a way to teach people. And we're in the schools, so we teach this program in the schools. We teach it to colleges. This program's coming out of the University of Phoenix to 400,000 students in October of this year in a curriculum-based program. And I've written 11 books now, and I go around the world to empower people. I just got back from LA at a California Women's Conference where I spoke to 4,000 women, and to try to get them to get beyond the label of being, defined by just the socially constructed message of the word woman, and get into where they can look at themselves as a human spirit as a person who has unlimited ability based on their skills and their intellect and their talents. So they're not confined by other people's definition, excuse me, definition of who they are. And so we want to eliminate race, we want to eliminate gender labels, we want to eliminate class labels, all those things that make you think that's who you are, so that you can create authenticity and start to develop internally and take control of your own development. That's a long answer, but I'm
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, Mr. Graham. You're here at the request of the Black International Film Festival of Montreal, again, a powerhouse. Tell me, it seems to be pop culture and business used to be in separate classes, to borrow your words, but they seem to be merging more. You're a high-profile person. You work with athletes who are high-profile. You seem to be maybe at the crossroads between business and pop culture. Is that my projecting, or you tell me where?
Well, I think that today you have to have a diversified way to create a lifestyle. And it's not just one way, it's all different ways of trying to focus on things that you really care about. I care about film. The reason I care about film is because it projects images to people that will determine who they will become in the future. And it has great influence. And so I'm interested in film. I'm interested in education. You know, that's my background in terms of business, so I'm a businessman in education. I'm interested in reading and publishing and working with young people and being able to get the message out of identity to all people of all backgrounds, utilizing as many mediums as possible, and also as many communication channels as possible to get that message out, that you can control your own destiny, especially in the 21st century where, you know, people are competing with jobs all over the country, wages are going down. We live in a society where people are not empowered, they may not have Social Security, they may not have a pension. So what we have to do is, you know, we have to understand that we live in an ownership society. We have to take control of our own destiny. And so we have to not be good at just one thing, not be good at just one job for the rest of your life, but you have to be good at everything that you do. You have to be versatile. You have to be able to assimilate. You have to be able to get along with all kinds of people from all backgrounds. You got to be able to appreciate other people's cultures. You got to be able to you know, love as many people as possible and not look at the glass half empty, but look at the glass half full, because now we have technology, we have the ability to communicate all over the world, and so it's really about your development and taking charge. So I'm a proponent of independent study, independent development, independent excellence, you know, performing at the highest possible level, and of course being able to get people to move from a follower to a leader of their own life, so that they can be a contributing member of their society.
Yes, my name is Prix from the radio station. I got a hip-hop radio station show, and talking about you've been a counselor to different big companies, Wells and Fargo and so on. Do you have any input or involvement in some of the companies or industries surrounding the hip-hop or the urban music, such as Puff Daddy or so on, entrepreneurs?
Yeah, well, hip-hop is an art, number one. And it's a passion for a lot of people, and so that works well for the people that are interested in that. The folks are making a lot of money, they turn that into a business, and now they monetize that, and it's a popular culture, and you know, that's just one piece. And so my interest in the urban market is to be able to get people to eliminate this victimization mindset that they can't make it because of the color of their skin. Wrong. You can't make it because you don't think, you can't make it because you're not conscious of your talents, your abilities, you can't make it because you don't understand the process, you can't make it because you don't know how to take information and make it relevant to the American free enterprise system or the Canadian free enterprise system or the global marketplace. And so this is a skill building process. And so when you focus on your skills and you're not, and you get beyond the socially constructed environment that you're in, and you get rid of the anger and the rage that you have, which only destroys whatever you put out comes back, and you realize you have the ability to create anything you want in your life, and you change your belief system about your possibilities, and you're given the tools to shape your own future, then things change. And so hip hop may be relevant, you know, for a certain era, and it may move into something else, and we may all utilize it. And so it's about people self-actualizing what they know. When you know better, you do better, and I applaud those who've taken hip hop and monetized it as a business, because it is a business. And if that's the way they self-actualize their potential, that's great. And so, you know, we're all in this global marketplace together, working together to try to figure out how we can supposedly help each other. And so I'm very much interested in the urban markets, very much interested in the African identity, the black identity, being able to segment that market and help people as much as possible be able to self-actualize their talents and their skills.
Thank you.
Mr. Graham, the United States has the biggest population of people incarcerated per capita. And out of those people incarcerated, it's the largest population of blacks and Latinos. How much power do such people in jail have to actually get out of that?
Well, it's interesting you said that. I've worked in the prison system 5 years, so I know that system pretty well. And I started off as a guard in that system. I moved up to work in recreation because I used to play European Pro League basketball. And so I understand that, you know, there's only two choices that you can make in life. You can either have love or you can have hate. You can either negative or you're positive. It's good or it's bad. And so the choices that you make, or the choices you make based on those two choices, will determine your destiny. And so in prison, if we can get folks to understand who they are, develop an identity for themselves, choose success as opposed to failure by having the tools to actually make that relevant in their life, then, and understand the process of how that works, then they'll have a chance. And so the process is the same for everybody. And you can come out of prison and you can develop some skills, and you can, if you can't graduate from school or don't go to college, you can get a vocation, and you can learn how to use your hands. And if you choose love and you choose to be positive about your life, you can reform yourself. You can transform your mind, and you can talk about your experience in prison. And you can talk about how you were and how you are now, and that is, you know, that will turn your whole life around. I believe that.
Thank you.
Est-ce qu'il y avait d'autres questions? Oui,
Mr. Stedman, I'm also a trainer, and I work with people to make them go within themselves and see their talents and see who they really are. But there's always like a bridge they need to cross from the old to the new person, and usually they're afraid of losing people within their environment. Would you have any advice for us that are maybe coaching or helping those people to just cross that bridge?
Well, my advice always is to invest in yourself and be the best you can be, and be an example for people around you. Again, to me, it really is about leadership. And again, the transformation of a person's mind is when they move from a follower to a leader. So if you can lead or reorganize your work and not only deal with a few people, but deal with 1,000 people, maybe 100,000 people, utilize the systems and structures in place to deliver your message, and then take your image and take your belief system about what you do and take your passion and package that and organize that, then you can help a lot more people. And that should be your role, to figure out how you can improve the process for helping as many people as possible based on what you do. To me, that's what leadership is all about.
I would like to know, when you present yourself
yourself to the people. It's really like the businessman. But I would love to know, because now I am a TV special producer, I am an actress in French, and I would like to know how you define yourself with your daughter? The family name. I would like to know a little bit about your relationship with your daughter.
Yes, I have a daughter named Wendy Graham, and we have a close relationship, and she has a close relationship also with Oprah. And I've gone back and organized my family. So I'm a small part of the Spalding descendants, which we have about 1,400 family members on our website. And in my community, I've gone back and worked in my community where I live. I live in a small community in called Whitesville, New Jersey, where the former Congressman George H. White, who was a relative of ours, founded the town I live in. So I'm very close to family and organizing family reunions and a part of that whole development and a part of community development. I've helped organize 2 communities. I've been working in my community for now. Next year will be our 25th anniversary celebration, and we've got street lights and sidewalks. We didn't have that before, and we have a celebration of people coming back in our community. We've organized our history. So when I talk about identity, that's very important to me. Very important to me in terms of who I am, in terms of my family tree. I've always had that, and I'm trying to take it to a different level. I'm trying to use my influence to be able to, again, turn the town around. We built a community center there. The whole town is turned around based on our ability to organize an organization called Concerned Citizens, which I went back 25 years ago and started. One of the founding members of that. I started another program, Concerned Citizens, in North Carolina, where my family's from, in a place called Lake Waccamaw. And, we have celebrations every year. And so we have a big history around family. And so I'm very much a supporter of my family, and my mother and father has passed, and so I pretty much have taken the leadership roles of trying to shore up and do whatever I can to support my immediate family and all of that. So it's all a part of whatever you can do. If you can, whatever you can do, whatever you're given, is to be able to give it back in terms of the blessings that you've received. And that to me is the price, the rent we pay for living in a wonderful world.
Last one?
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Graham, my name is Courtney. I'm a filmmaker here at the festival, so I'd like to thank the festival for inviting us, and then as well for you being here. The actual name of my company, which made the movie, is Aje Quad Ajas, and in Latin that means do well, whatever you do.
Fantastic.
And I'm getting emotional. I've never read one of your books, but I plan to now. Thank you for being here and inspiring me at a press conference. And I invite you to see our film today. It's tonight at 9 p.m. at Cinema du Parc. It is a short film, so it wouldn't take your entire evening, but I want to thank you for inspiring me. And hopefully I can continue to educate myself to then inspire others to become leaders within whatever they want to do.
Well, certainly, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for what you do. This certainly, the International Black Film Festival here in Montreal, is certainly a great platform to be able to showcase your voice and what you think is important. And we need those platforms. So I just applaud, the work that you were doing and all of you are doing to really, make this a successful event. It's needed. All over the country, we have 57% dropout rate in one city. I won't name the cities. We have a 78% dropout rate among black men in another city. We have a 16% graduation rate in a whole state in our country. And, the educational system is being threatened. And people are, like we talked about, they're going to jail, and they're shooting people, and folks are out of control. because they don't realize who they are. They have no sense of their ability to self-actualize their potential. They have no identity. They don't think they're good enough. They have low self-esteem. They have a lack of confidence. And so when you have opportunities like this to showcase your talent and your skills and build value, because it really is about value, the value that you create, the value that you give yourself is the value the world gives you. The world sees you as you see yourself. So when you can do what you do, and you can create a film and then show that to people all over the world, you know, on the internet and all of the communication channels we have now, that's a major thing. You can impact a lot of lives. So I'm so glad to be here, to have the opportunity to be able to at least be a part of this celebration.
Merci beaucoup.